Now we will add dimensions to our top cover drawing. That's in Model Items, like we did with the previous parts. We want these 4 things selected. And things look a little messy. So let's reorganize some of this. And I'm not going over how to do these things because we've already done it in the previous parts. We're going to type TYP at the end of this 0.031 radius because there's a lot of these radii. So instead of dimensioning them all, we put TYP to include all the radii that look like this one dimensioned here. We will also do this for our 0.125 thickness. It's a space, then type TYP in this dimension box down here. One more thing we want to change about this dimension is we want to drag the bottom extension line to this vertex. This dimension right here is extra. I only modeled the holes once, so I'm not sure why I'm getting this twice. Then let's move this down to the bottom view. I'd also like to move this 0.375 over to the top view. But after further consideration, I see that it's kind of in the way in the section view. So I'm going to delete it. And then add my own dimension, the smart dimension here, to the top portion of the drawing. I can change the direction of the text by clicking the point at the breakpoint, and change the direction of the arrows by clicking either of the points on the end of the arrow. And for this dimension, I want to type at the beginning 4x. I also want to get rid of this dimension and add my own. Now there's an important distinction to be made between these smart dimensions that we add on our own as opposed to the imported ones. The imported ones are connected to the model. So if we change the imported dimension in the drawing environment, it will change the dimension in the model. These dimensions that I'm adding manually, they do not drive the model. They are driven by the model. So if I try and change these dimensions, it won't even let me change them. So I cannot control the model dimensions from the drawing using these dimensions that I add manually myself. The reason I wanted to add this dimension here as opposed to on this fillet is because here I see that the dimension line is going through this intersection that I've made. So it's very clear that the center point of this arc is right at the intersection between the horizontal and vertical edge of the geometry. So this makes manufacturing very clear. I can also type on the end of this TYP so that it is known that the radii right next to it are the same size. Finally, we'll delete these two dimensions, and then in the next video we'll talk about a new dimensioning method.